Hey, Occupy Democrat viewers, welcome, and let's play a quick game of Name That Tune with a Donald Trump mashup of him singing a few bars of a hit song from 1974. To keep it true to his style, the words are a bit mangled, but if you're a boomer like me, I think you can decode it. Have a listen and let me know if you can identify the song and the artist. She could be described as the Taylor Swift of her generation, and then I'll explain why she's trending today with some words meant to get under Donald Trump's skin.
You are not good. You are not good. Baby, you are not good.
If you guessed Linda Ronstadt and her signature #1 hit, You're No Good, you are correct. And now let's talk about her blistering words for Donald Trump, who made the mistake of holding a rally in a theater that bears her name. She held nothing back, and the headlines on this breaking story include: Linda Ronstadt slams rapist Trump for holding Arizona rally in her namesake hall. And Linda Ronstadt scorches Trump ahead of campaign stop at her music hall. No forgiving or forgetting the heartbreak he caused. Please stick around and I will deliver her open letter to the architect of the hate campaign. But first, a little bit of context. Linda Ronstadt was a prolific music artist that preceded artists like Taylor Swift and Lady Gaga as strong female role models willing to stand against extremism. She is now 78 years old and suffers from progressive supranuclear palsy, a condition that has robbed her of her singing voice but has not robbed her of her outspokenness, and she was triggered to use it when Trump booked a rally at the Linda Ronstadt Music Hall, a hometown theater that was named in her honor. Before I share the letter, here's a video that I uncovered that shows exactly how the Mexican American feels about Trump, complete with comparisons to Hitler, that was recorded when he was president.
I've read that you have read a lot about the Weimar Republic in Germany, and you sort of see parallels between then and now.
Well, great parallels. I mean, the intelligentsia of Berlin and the literati and all the artists were just busy doing their thing. And there were a lot of chances, as Hitler rose to power, there were a lot of chances to stop him, and they didn't speak out. And the industrial complex thought that they could control him once they got him in office, and of course he was not controllable. And by the time he got established, he put his own people in place and, stacked the courts and did what he had to do to consolidate his power. And we got Hitler, and he destroyed Germany. He destroyed centuries of intellectual history, forward and backward. The people like Beethoven and Goethe and Thomas Mann became jokes. They became Nazi laughingstock.
I think a lot of people, though, would be surprised to hear comparisons between what happened then and now.
If you read the history, you won't be surprised. It's exactly the same. You find a common enemy for everybody to hate. When I was sure that Trump was going to get elected the day he announced, and I said it's going to be like Hitler and the Mexicans are the new Jews. And sure enough, that's what he delivered.
And now for the open letter from Linda Ronstadt to Donald Trump. I'll give you a break from my voice and introduce you to the Romano Report. He fights the good fight like we do, and here's his easy-on-the-ears reading of her statement.
A statement from Linda Ronstadt. Donald Trump is holding a rally on Thursday in a rented hall in my hometown, Tucson. I would prefer to ignore that sad fact, but since the building has my name on it, I need to say something. It saddens me to see the former president bring his hate show to Tucson, a town with deep Mexican-American roots and a joyful, tolerant spirit. I don't just deplore his toxic politics, his hatred of women, immigrants, and people of color, his criminality, dishonesty, and ignorance, although there's that. For me, it comes down to this. In Nogales and across the southern border, the Trump administration systematically ripped apart migrant families seeking asylum. Family separation made orphans of thousands of little children and babies and brutalized their desperate mothers and fathers. It remains a humanitarian catastrophe that Physicians for Human Rights said met the criteria for torture. There is no forgiving or forgetting the heartbreak he caused. Trump first ran for president warning about rapists coming in from Mexico. I'm worried about keeping the rapist out of the White House. Linda Ronstadt. P.S. To J.D. Vance. I raised 2 adopted children in Tucson as a single mom. They are both grown and living in their own houses. I live with a cat. Am I half a childless cat lady because I'm unmarried and didn't give birth to my kids? Call me what you want, but this cat lady will be voting proudly in November for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. Signed, Linda Ronstadt.
As a child of the 70s, I really enjoy seeing Linda Ronstadt resurface. And as a super fan of anything anti-Trump, I especially enjoy her contribution towards the restoration of a sane democracy. Honestly, I've always been a bit of a cynic when it comes to celebrity culture and the influence it has on our society. But Donald Trump leveraged his star power to seize power, so let's use every celebrity voice we can to render him powerless. And in the interest of fair and balanced reporting, I'll give J.D. Vance the final word. This was his take on the Taylor Swift effect.
We admire Taylor Swift's music, but I don't think most Americans, whether they like her music or fans of hers or not, are going to be influenced by a billionaire celebrity who I think is fundamentally disconnected from the interests and the problems of most Americans.